Hey guys, Dan here and welcome back to another video and another reaction. And today we're going to be reacting to this Left 4 Dead 2 map has no respect for the players. This is a video that was made by Nascos and this video was suggested by Tomb Zombie. Thanks so much, Tomb. And before we get to the video, I just want to give a heads up that these past videos I've been having a lot of audio problems. I'm terribly sorry for that. I'm trying to adjust that. Last live stream, some viewers were kind enough to stick with me in the beginning to help me configure the audio for the live stream, and I've been trying to find the perfect settings for the reaction videos. So if you guys can, please be sure to leave a like on the original video to help the original creator. And if you want to support this channel, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I still got a lot to learn, but if you guys stick with me in this journey, I know it will be worth the wait. So now, on to the video. Have a good day. One more thing before we get to the reaction, I'll try to stay as quiet as possible during the video, and if I need to speak, I will unmute my microphone and I will pause the video to do so. You guys know me, you guys know that I really like to comment on everything that I see, but I'll do my best so we just can try to get this audio going smoothly as possible. Once again, thank you for being here, and now, on to the video. Mute.
The Steam Workshop in Left 4 Dead 2 is home to literally everything you can think of. Anime, weapon skins, custom maps, more anime, HUDs, porn, survivor skins, even more anime. But the one category that gets judged the most.
I have to agree. There's a lot of anime and there's a lot of non-safe for work content in the Steam workshops. So if you're underage, please be careful when going there. Just be careful to what you're googling and what you're searching, because few fandoms, they can get very creative with what they are creating. So let's continue.
Most is custom maps.
Holy shit.
There are some maps that are astonishing in both design and aesthetic. Maps like Buried Deep, Big Watt, Suicide Blitz, Daybreak, and Darkwood are all pretty good maps.
I would like just to mention that I saw the map of Helm's Deep over there, and Helm's Deep on Left 4 Dead 2 is an amazingly fun map. It can be a little bit frustrating if you do not coordinate, but after you get the hang of it, it's very difficult for you to die a lot. Probably your new friends playing the map will be dying a lot, but it's a very fun map to play.
And then there are maps that test my sanity and mental health. Maps such as literally every map this guy releases, every map this guy releases, and finally a map called Hometown. This map right here is probably the worst map I've ever played. Okay, maybe not the worst, but it comes close. Look, I'm not trying to be mean, but this map put me through hell to finish it. So you know what? I'm going to freely take my frustrations out on this map and dissect it piece by piece. I'm going to tear this map to shreds and show you every piece of it. Okay, this map has 5 parts and an additional 3 optional parts. For this video, I installed everything to play the map. And by the way, why do these map creators always add random crap to the maps that always makes it worse? Like seriously, the 3 optional add-ons for this map literally replace all the guns with World War II weapons and makes them all worse. Why would you do that? If you're ever going to replace weapons in the game, at least have the decency to keep the weapon stats the same.
If you're going to replace weapon stats, just be sure that the map and the game will be a balance to that. I can imagine that since there's a lot of World War II weapons, I can think that a lot of them will be not automatic, or they will be pistols or rifles, which, depending on the fire rate, can be very problematic when dealing with hordes of zombies. Not so much with hordes of zombies now that I think of it, because the bullet will just go through a lot of them, but with more special infected. So yeah, be careful with that.
Anyway, let's start with the campaign. This map actually has a pretty good start. It has a cool looking poster that gives you a feeling of uneasiness and a promising looking intro. That is, until the map gives you this message. The current version contains only chapters 1, 2, 5, and 6. Difficulty suggestions: single normal, multi advanced. Use your wisdom and map props. Bring team cooperation into play to survive. Instantly, the moment I saw this message, I already hated this map. Yeah, I hated the map. This message basically says, play on normal difficulty and bring a full team. That shit's great.
And when it downloaded, wasn't there like part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and the optional extra parts? Why does it say that if you download the full thing, it says that it's incomplete? A little bit weird.
Yeah, screw the people who play solo and screw the people who play on expert. A good map would attend to all audiences. People who play with friends, people who play solo, people who play on expert. You don't design a map around one specific thing. Also, why would you even put this message here in the first place? Clearly, this map creator doesn't have faith in the people who play his map, so he suggests that they play with friends and on normal difficulty. Now you guys see why I'm so worked up about this map. The survivors start in this hotel.
I mean, I would not judge that so hastily. I mean, if it says, oh, come on, bring friends. Maybe for most players that will not sit right, but I don't know. Why not? It's always good to try to incentivize more people to come and see your work, and it's basically saying, hey, if you enjoy and want to play this map to the fullest, bring more people to have the experience. I don't see much problem with that. And yeah, let's continue.
Hotel room, and we get a full look at the first weapon replacement. The map creator had a problem with the standard pistol and decided to replace it with a revolver. This weapon actually isn't that bad, and it even has 6 bullets, which is a nice detail, but its accuracy is ass, and its firing speed is also ass. The Magnum is just straight up better in every way, so what's the point of adding this weapon to the game? And look at this shoving animation. He's not even shoving, he's just pulling the gun back and letting it back into place. There is a phone ringing next door, and the survivors go to pick it up. But instead they get a message.
The subscriber you dialed is not connected for the moment. Please dial again later.
After listening to the message, the survivors decide to move out onto the streets, and the first zombie we run into is a mudman. Okay, why are there mudmen here?
I think that is a little bit funny that I kind of just realized now that there are 5 total possible players to be here, right? There's Zoe, Alice, Rochelle, Coach, and Nick. So why Zoe here? And I don't remember exactly, but I think the Mudmen, they are only located in one specific map. I think the swamp map. So they can be a little bit annoying. Remember that if they hit you, you get all muddy. So maybe just for the difficulty? I don't know.
Do you guys see any mud in the city? I know I don't. So the survivors go on a road that is filled with a lot of traffic and zombies, and mudmen. One thing I can say about this map is that it looks nice. Buildings are falling apart and the cars on the road are very dusty and old. The survivors go across the road until they reach a roadblock and are forced to take an alternate route. So Nick leads the way and turns the corner, and there's suddenly a boomer! After clearing the horde, the survivors enter an alleyway, and then suddenly a horde ambushes them. One big problem about this scene is that it takes control away from the player, and that's fine as long as the player is put into God mode, because there are many maps that put you in a cutscene while you are being hit by zombies.
Yeah, I was going to say that, oh, this doesn't seem so bad. It's cool to actually try to have a little cutscene. Maybe the map just needs some time to download things and to properly move the spawns. I do not know how map creating work. Left 4 Dead 2, but yeah, if the players actually can be hit and take damage while they're stuck in the cutscene, that was poor design. The idea was good, but maybe definitely poor design.
After clearing the horde with only pistols, mind you, have I mentioned that this map didn't give us any starting weapons? The survivors continue through the alleyway until a tank?
I just wanted to take a good look at the tank, but yeah, killing a tank with only pistols can be very bad, especially if all the pistols only have 6 shots each, and they're considered a normal pistol. At least if it was the Magnum, that would have been a little bit more balanced. But look at this creature. This almost looks like a mixture from a Killer Croc from the DC and a human that only has all of his muscles outside already, you know, but covered in this greenish texture. I kind of like this tank. It gives a more mutant vibe to the creature. Even though he's a mutant zombie, you guys know what I mean. You guys know what I mean. But you guys can tell me the name of this skin for the tank? I actually kind of like it. I don't think I would use it a lot, but it can be kind of fun for specific situations.
You got no respect.
We literally just started the map and we don't have any weapons to kill the tank besides pistols. What does the map grid expect from us? Somehow we managed to kill the tank without losing anybody. I decided to pick up this melee because they're always better than pistols, and this revolver was just so bad I didn't want to use it anymore. And check this.
Wait, they even have Francis? How many NPCs they got to help the player on this game?
An ammo pile with no weapons. The survivors go through alleyway after alleyway.
I mean, I know it can be a little bit counterintuitive to put that there, but it might feel like they just took all of the ammo, the correct ammo that was there, and placed it on the gun, and that's all they have, and that's just expanded ammo. Yeah, Left 4 Dead players can be used to just seeing a weapon pile of ammo, but the one that was present in Left 4 Dead 1, and now I think that is also present on Left 4 Dead 2, the one that is the can full of bullets, it can be a nice touch to a scenario. I don't see that much problem with that, but it can be a little bit frustrating seeing that, and oh, I cannot even interact with it, what the hell?
Invisible wall after invisible wall until they find a safe house to bunker down and rest. Overall, this chapter is the best chapter in the campaign. It wasn't that bad, but trust me, this campaign is only going to get worse and worse and
You got no respect.
after
I saw that they added like weapons to the end of it. I think there was a shotgun and a submachine gun, because I don't think there's that much of a problem with the design of a Left 4 Dead map where you will only use pistols or melees. Melees are already very OP when dealing with normal infected and other few infected if you play the game long enough. But actually playing a full round of a map with pistols can be quite interesting. Maybe with the nerfs that the pistols got to only shoot 6 bullets at a time can be an addition to add the difficulty. I think that fighting a tank with only pistols is a little bit too much, but having the weapons at the end of the map for you to prepare for the next map as a little reward, I don't see a big problem with that. I can think of it. I think that this sorry. I think that this can be a good map design, you know? Just to give the weapons at the end, because I remember seeing other videos in Left 4 Dead 2. I think that I reacted to certain videos in the channel that say that there is no big challenge in Left 4 Dead 2 due to the excessive amount of weapons and ammo. We do not have any urge to switch weapons, to get melees, to use our pistols if we're just gonna find other tier 2 and 3 weapons all around, which is true. Left 4 Dead 2 can just be a shoot and run, a shoot and slash type of game, because you just have weapons all around of you. It takes kind of a vibe of Left 4 of Dead Rising 2 and beyond. Why would I use anything else if I always got the good guns with me? Oh, sorry, Dead Rising 3 and beyond, my bad. Because I have the best weapons with me all the time. Why would I want to use anything else just to make it harder? No, I want to just use the best things that I can get. And I think that a lot of people would go by that mentality. And if I'm wrong, please give me your opinion on the chat, on the comments. I would love that.
after the survivors have healed up and rested, they decide to head back out onto the streets. Immediately after opening the door, we are greeted by an invisible wall with a red out of bounds sign. Wow, way to break the immersion. Why not just put actual props in the way that blocks the path? Also, mudmen are not very immersive here, and spamming them is not fun. There are more mudmen than regular zombies at this point. The survivors retrace their steps until they find yet another invisible wall with a red sign. I try to go left and head down the street until I find another invisible wall.
You think this is funny?
I like this map's aesthetic and graphics, but all of these invisible walls and mudmen are really killing the immersion here. Just saying. The survivors find a flare that is lit on the staircase and believe that there are people still alive in the city.
It would have been way better for just to have flares all around to guide the path and to have actual things blocking the way, because just seeing invisible barrier after invisible barrier can be very frustrating. I can agree that they could have just be a little bit more creative with it. Because if you immediately goes out of the safe house, instead of just looking to the left and see a gigantic wall, like a pile of cars blocking the way or a pile of furniture or anything like that, you just see an invisible barrier, and that's the only reason why you cannot go into that direction just after leaving spawn. That can be very annoying.
They head upstairs and find some food and an assault rifle. Eating the food gives you more health, but the sound effect when you eat it is weird.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird. And what, he has now 8 bots with him? 7 bots? No wonder that no one died in the first chapter. If you have this many bots, you're not gonna die so easily, only if you really messed up.
What the hell is that sound? Is that how you eat your food? The weapon I picked up replaces the assault rifle, and I tested it on this mudman, and the results were not good. So I went back to pick up my M60, only to find that Rochelle had already picked it up. Guess I'm stuck with this sorry excuse of a downgraded weapon. The survivors stumble upon a very destroyed area. Buildings are falling apart. There is smoke everywhere. This door opened by itself, as if inviting me in. I feel that it might be a trap, so I tell the other survivors to wait here. As soon as I entered the room, the door closed behind me and music started playing. Then suddenly, the room started falling apart. The game instructs me to jump on this table, and I make the jump. But then, I saw for a split second that Bill fell down. So I jumped down to rescue him, only to find that I end up in this room with a strange message. What the hell was that? Wait, I want to see that again. Wow, does the map creator really think that it's frightening to me? Anyway, what I'm
Yeah, I have to agree that that was...
supposed to do now is parkour over the destroyed buildings. I shoot this propane tank to lower a plank for me to cross until I hear a phone ringing behind me. I picked it up and... oh, guess I missed the jump scare, huh? Finally,
Me too.
After making it across, the game instructs me with finding 5 gas cans. Easier said than done because this charger just single-handedly killed 2 survivors.
Okay, now I might see why you would need the bots. But really, just being able to spawn 7 bots at your current location is very strong.
Thankfully, Francis had a defib and revived Ellis, so at least we're still in the game. The map spams special infected here for some reason. There is this gas can on the roof and I go to collect it. But it wasn't going to be that easy, was it? The map spawns like 10 hunters, like what? Imagine playing this with 4 survivors. This stunt the map creator makes will catch you off.
Well, to be fair, I saw that he tried to add a breaking animation to the ground or to the rooftops, just like if they were emerging as a horde to attack. And that can be a cool idea and effect, but really, 4 survivors against 10 hunters can really down your party in one go.
Guard on your first run. This gas can is a beginner's trap and you can't avoid it. My advice is to get on this roof and pray to God you can kill all the hunters.
You got no respect.
3 gas cans down and 2 more to go. Alright, I got the 5 gas cans, now it's time to clear a path forward. I shoot the gas can and it summons a horde, of course. A very long horde, mind you. So long that we end up losing Bill, and the whole party ends up going down at this point. I was starting to wonder if the horde was ever going to end, but thankfully, it ended before we lost anyone else. The amount of mudmen is insane. It doesn't even make sense. There is no mud here. After we barely fight that horde off, the survivors head through the burnt path. A random zombie disappears in front of my eyes, and then I end up finding a safe house. Thank God. This chapter was worse than the last one. There was a stupid amount of mudmen, a stupid amount of hunters, a stupid jump scare that wouldn't even scare my dog, and a stupid horde that lasted 2 minutes. All while the map has given us terrible weapons and supplies. Does this warrant playing on normal? No, because I am playing this map on realism, expert, solo, and I am getting by.
I don't know what is the origin or the nationality of the map creator, but maybe Japanese or Chinese. Sorry, I do not recognize the architecture, and I do not know how to read the language that was being portrayed side by side with the English on the missions and on the map introduction. But apparently, there's a lot of mysticism on this. Probably Japanese, I'd say. But yeah, they could have just separated the whole thing, because the first map then swift into a more ghost or poltergeist or a revengeful spirit really took down the mood for me too. And the spawns of this, for you to almost die every time with a group of 7 bots to aid you, it's very difficult. Even though they are on expert, if that was only 4 people, that would be just way too strong.
Next chapter. The chapter starts with a cutscene showing the shelter the survivors stayed in until daytime. After the sun comes up, the survivors resume their journey out of the city after I kill this Charger and Smoker with this shitty gun. Whoa, that was close. I spot my favorite melee weapon and go to pick it up. I then spot floating medkits and ammo, but I'm not complaining. We need the supplies after the beating we took in the last chapter. I finally find a throwable, and turns out they replaced the pipe bomb with a regular German stick grenade. Cool, but it makes no sense because when you throw the grenade, it still has the ticking pipe sound.
He just adds that little message like, okay, I was wrong at this, but let's continue.
We go down the road killing zombies with ease until we find another roadblock. The only way to go is up this hill. There is still an abundance of mudmen, but at this point I just didn't care anymore. Oh, that looks like quite the drop, doesn't it? It's the only way to proceed forward, so I take a leap of faith and make it without taking any fall damage. The bots, however...
One thing that I just thought about now is that it would be a cool excuse to just say that this region that they are is just a region that was heavily fortified during World War II to fight against invasions, and that's why that would maybe clarify the presence of so many World War II weaponry, because they were never truly collected, and maybe even the citizens that were present on these island regions, mountains, they would secretly keep off these weapons away from the government eyes and any outsider, just because maybe they would be too traumatized, or they would just think that one day they need to be ready in case anything happens. So that would be a cool reason for everything to happen. I do not know if that's the reason. If you guys could tell me if I just maybe resumed the whole reason for these weapons to be here according to the creator, I don't know. But if you guys can, tell me if what I am saying makes any sense. I think it does.
Well, that's a different story. A tank spawns at the most inconvenient time in the most inconvenient place. There are cars around and we're still recovering from the bots breaking their legs. I attempted to throw a Molotov, but the tank was running at an angle, so I missed.
This is big brain time.
Zoe takes a beating from the tank, but I barely saved her. That second pound would have killed her for sure. After killing the tank, we gather our bearings and continue down the road until yet another tank spawns, this time behind us. There is a pretty long jump we have to make here, and the tank is cornering us. We were forced to jump across, and I prayed that all the bots could make the jump without problems. And just like that, the entire team was shattered and down. It was up to me now to finish this chapter. Nobody was gonna help me if I was in trouble. It's a totally different feeling when your whole team dies and you're by.
And not only your whole team dies, but when you lose 7 bots that were aiding you, you can never trust bots to make a jump on a corner or something like that.
Yourself, especially with 8 survivors. I didn't give up just yet. I had a bottle jar, pills, and an axe in my inventory. I had faith that I could finish this chapter, so I continued on and left the bots. I even hear Ellis cheering me on and telling me to run. I throw my bottle jar, climb the scaffolding, and continue my way down the road. A huge boulder drops down and blocks my way. I'm forced to take an alternate route. It looks like the zombies have caught up to me. I chop my way through and barely get away. I had to use my pills though. For a second, it looked like I was actually going to make it. I could see the bright sun at the end of the tunnel. That was until I saw him again. I tried to dodge him, but he can hit this truck, resulting in my death. What the hell? 3 tanks. 1 isn't enough, apparently, and neither is 2.
You got no respect.
And these tanks wouldn't be so bad if we weren't in such a bad position. There are always cars around for the tanks to hit, and the space isn't that open. Okay, so I got my first game over, but I'm not quitting now. I traversed through the level with a shotgun this time, except this shotgun has a very widespread crosshair
Glad that isn't an auto shotgun, that would make some damage.
and only 4 bullets in its magazine.
You son of a bitch!
God, what is wrong with you, map creator? First, I'm going to warp the bots down this hill, then we're going to kill the tanks before they could cause us harm. We're all going to make this jump, except Ellis, kill the horde, and then finally kill the final tank. It wasn't easy though. The tank made full use of the cars near him and downed 5 survivors at once.
Now that's a lot of damage!
But we finally took him down before he could do any more harm. We recovered and continued on our journey. We end up finding some military presence here, so we decide to take another break before we embark on our final chapter to end this campaign. Like I said, the chapters only get worse and worse, and it's not the difficulty that I'm complaining about, guys. It's just all the beginner traps this map throws at you in an unfair manner. 10 hunters, an infinite horde with 75% mudmen, 3 tanks in the span of 3 minutes. If we had more throwables or more healing, this would be bearable, but the map doesn't even give us that. Now let's move on to the final chapter of this campaign.
And also give better weapons. Like the actual good weapons of dude.
And if you still don't believe me about this map's terrible design and beginner traps, you're about to, because this next chapter overuses one specific infected. After the survivors have rested, they head out and continue down the road, hoping to find the military. We find a destroyed bridge, which could mean that the military has been here recently. After clearing out the remaining infected on the bridge, I found an AK-47, except it only has 30 bullets instead of 40. It also has a higher recoil, and I swear its accuracy is worse than the original.
You little son of a bitch.
Okay, now the map creator is just being an asshole. The AK is my favorite weapon, and he just nerfed it to all hell for no reason. The survivors find a radio and try to contact the military for extraction. They end up getting a response and are told to hold out for 10 minutes. Now, in a normal finale, it doesn't actually take 10 minutes. It just takes 2 hordes and 2 tanks to finish your normal finale. That usually takes about 5 to 6 minutes. However, this map actually took the 10 minutes quite literally. Well, guess what? If the map creator is not going to respect me, I have no problem with cheating, but I didn't. I managed to beat this ridiculous finale without any cheats. Alright, I'm done beating around the bush. Let me tell you why this finale has got me so worked up. First of all, this finale sends 7 tanks at you. Yeah, you heard me right. 7 tanks. If you were playing with 4 players,
So this brings us to a total of how many tanks this entire campaign? 12, because just last chapter we got 3 tanks.
you would not stand a chance. If you were playing on expert, you would not stand a chance. If you were the average Left 4 Dead 2 player, which makes up most of the Left 4 Dead 2 player base, you would not stand a chance. If you're cracked like me, then you might stand a chance. Let's do a full run through of the finale. It starts normally with just a horde and some special infected. They don't cause any problems. And then the first tank comes and we deal with him easily. After that, the next horde starts, except there are a few more zombies than the last. Still, we deal with them pretty easily. Now here comes the next tank, or should I say 2 tanks. But the 2 tanks weren't that big of a deal. We camped on the scaffolding and gunned down the tanks before they could really get to us. At this point, I thought the map was over. We dealt with the 2 hordes and the 2 tank encounters. But no. Instead, we are greeted by a helicopter dropping us supplies instead of actually rescuing us. Wow, what an asshole. but at least he gave us something. After killing yet another horde of zombies, we deal with the final tank encounter. And get this, the map spawns 4 tanks at once. Whenever a map creator pulls a stunt like this, I usually just type in God mode and call it a day, because the map creator clearly had no respect for the player, and if the map doesn't respect me, I don't respect the map, which results in me cheating. Do you expect me to feel bad? And this whole finale takes 10 minutes, which means if you fail, you have to do it all over again. This is why this map is terrible. No respect for the player, awful map design, and no bot friendliness. You may have noticed that I didn't really talk about the bots that much. It's because I had many useful tools to ensure that the bots didn't just die. The way that this map is designed will make the bots die because they don't have proper pathing. Remember the area with the parkour? Or the long jump? Hell, even in the finale, their pathing is still messed up. The bots just don't shoot the zombies here, and instead go down for no reason. This map was just designed for the player who has a full party and has 2,000 hours in the game. If you don't meet those criterias, you're gonna have a bad time. But why though? Why spawn 4 tanks knowing full well that the survivors can't deal with it? Especially with the nerfed weapons we have and the lack of Molotovs. Now, I did manage to beat it without cheating, but I get the feeling I only beat it because of 8 survivors and the bot add-ons that I have. If I was just playing this map normally with only 4 players and no other add-ons, I wouldn't win. Because even if I did, the map pulls one last stunt as a parting gift. If you somehow manage to kill the 4 tanks, you will be greeted with this message: use the radio on the Hummer, hurry up. So after killing 7 tanks, the map asks you to run into the incoming horde and interact with the radio that takes 1,000,000 years to finish. Oh, and there are even more tanks in case the 7 wasn't enough. You better pray that you have saved a bottle jar here. After interacting with the radio, we have to head back and make it onto the truck. I decided to stay and help the bots because without them, I wouldn't have been able to beat this map. We all make it to the escape with no one left behind. The truck drives off and ends the campaign.
On the little note, just the way that it was sliding backwards, it was kind of. But really, just imagine if he tried to pull out, and the military come and kill all of you because they think you are infected. I think that if he did that, this video would just be way more filled with rage by the end.
Well, there you have it. The problem with this map was that it didn't respect the player. Now, this isn't the worst map I've ever played. At least it had decent graphics and a very moody aesthetic. It's just those things don't really matter when the design of the map is utterly dull. I'll say it in a nicer manner. Map design is the most important part to making a good map. Is that better? I hope so, because there have been many more custom maps out there that do the exact same thing, not respecting the player. I've had enough. I've played so many custom maps, and sometimes it just becomes too much. I just want to be respected. Is that too much to ask? Thanks for watching, and map creator, if you're watching this, and if you're still interested in making custom maps, make another map. But all you need to do is one simple thing. Respect the player.
Well, I truly imagined that this was going to be the final message of the video, but I thought it was going to have a more abrupt cut, like, respect the play, and then it cuts. Let's see if there's any more hidden things by the end. I don't think so. But I have to agree, you need to respect the player. But this map, I can see that there was an attempt to make something that was, I can say, way more to the side of the likings of the original creator of the map. Like, he wanted to bring an aesthetic. I don't know why he put so many ghosts or maybe horror aspects or jump scares in chapter 2, and those things did not come back. I don't get it, the user of the telephones too, and I think that was way more scattered than it should have been. You know, if they are there, they should have the usage for something. But I have to say, I do like the aesthetic of the map. I do like the feeling and the texture that it brings, the fog, and the whole vibe that it gives to us as a player. I think it would have been a cool map to explore, but it just needs to be way more polished and balanced. Because if you need 8 bots to play that and you will still die with that, Not because of you truly going ahead and dying on by yourself while the bots are still catching up, but because the bots cannot sometimes make the jump because you have to fight 7 tanks in one wave. I really think that this map should have an update and rebalancing. Really bad. But as the video says, you gotta have respect for the players. And guys, thanks so much for coming, thanks so much for staying. This was a 20-minute long video. For you guys, it would be around a 30-minute video. And I really hope that the audio got fixed this time. I'm still gonna have a long process to be able to just adjust everything to learn about OBS. I'm coming back to making videos more of now, because I had a little month to have a small break to focus on other things and to de-stress a bit. So I really hope that you guys can give a like to the original video, give a like on this video, and subscribe if you want to support the channel. And later today I'm gonna have a live stream. I'm gonna go back to Minecraft hardcore mode. I'm trying to build up my house and to decorate it right. And you guys enjoyed it. I'm happy with the result of the video. I hope to see you guys next time on the next video, YouTube short, live stream reaction, and yeah, that's it. Bye. See ya.